Hello, MS Live. I'm your host, Dulci, and I'm going to be jumping around because my camera is not working on the PC. So, I don't know. When you share a computer with family members, this is what happens. It just, you set everything up and you walk away and all of a sudden it doesn't work. So what do? On Facebook, I do the phone and it always works. On my little laptop, it works as well. So I have that set up. So everything fails on the studio, the really good stuff. We're going we're using the basic equipment that just it's the process, right? Who cares? The message is what you care about. All right, so what I am going to discuss today is just 1 minute here. I can't read around. All right, PML. What does PML stand for? All right. PML stands for Progressive Multifocal Leukoencephalopathy. All right. All right, PML. All right, progressive. What does progressive mean? Progressive means steadily getting worse. It's like MS, right? We steadily get worse. Ruth. Okay, multifocal. All right, focal. That means it's progressive. Multifocal means it's in many areas, and leuko means it affects the brain. Leuko. I know. All right, I can't say that. Leuko. All right, so progressive multifocal leukoencephalopathy. Encephalitis. So encephalopathy. All right, leukoencephalopathy. All right, say that 3 times fast. So even before reading anything else, you already know that it's a disease that affects multiple areas of white matter in the brain. All right, it's bad, but what causes it? What causes PML? All right, what causes this Jcv virus, and how is it related? How? I know. How is it related? Please forgive me. I'm not going to be saying hi to everybody today because I want this to flow. Nicely. So it's a really short. Let me give you all the information. I did the research, created a lesson plan. So let me throw that out, and then we'll ask questions. The JCV virus is a common virus. It's common. Between 40 and 90% of the population have been exposed to it, and often we're exposed when we're little kids, right? Well, it settles in your urinary tract, your bone marrow, tonsils, in your brain, and it can stay there for years. And most people don't even know they have it. So, and you live with it, kind of like it's a type of virus that's very much like herpes or like chickenpox. Think about that. So what happens is that it's easy to pick up. So we pick it up in the dirt, or when we're little kids, when we're putting things in our mouth we shouldn't be, and it's just bad. It's bad. So we get this, and that's okay that we get it, but then all of a sudden we get MS. All right, all right. So All right, so now you have MS and you are JCV positive because most of us are JCV positive to a certain degree. There is just so many medications that monoclonal antibodies like Jcb, rituximab, Ocrevus, Gilenya, Lemtrada, let's see, Tecfidera, Gilenya, did I say Gilenya? Cyclophosphamide, Mofetil, corticosteroids, let me see. So there's so many medications that will hasten anything that suppresses your immune system allows the disease to come alive. So JCV, the virus, stays dormant in healthy people, and they say dormant in many people. And then Concepta is another one. But it stays dormant. This virus, like chickenpox, stays dormant. And all of a sudden, we're taking medications that all of a sudden aliven these diseases. All of a sudden, we're more susceptible to shingles. All of a sudden, we're PML. Now the JCV virus now has been activated, and because we're on these medications. All right, but here's good news. This is the good news. This is amazing news. All right, people who are on these disease-modifying medications, people with MS who are on them and start develop symptoms of PML, which, by the way, you can laugh. You can laugh. Yeah, you can laugh. The symptoms of PML are the same symptoms of MS. You know how we're like, I don't feel as well as I used to. Well, guess what? That's the symptoms of PML. But it's also the symptoms of secondary progressive or primary progressive MS. All right, JCB virus is an infection that leads to PML. This virus behaves much like chickenpox, like I said. During times of stress, it may become active, like shingles. But guess what? There's no outward sign, so you don't know. All right, JCV, dormant PML, until it's not. Who gets sick? Currently, we do not know why people with JCV virus develop PML and others do not. So it's still, some people can smoke their whole lives and never get lung cancer. It's a crapshoot. Actually, I read statistics somewhere that it was like 50% of smokers will get lung cancer or emphysema, that kind of stuff, and 50% won't. Well, it's a crap shot. Who will get it? People with weakened immune systems or taking medications to weaken their immune system can hasten. You stack the odds. Let's see. All right, my notes. All right, how is Jcb linked to PML? All right, is there a cutoff number to stop? That's a good question. Everything you hear from me, I'm not a doctor. I did this research. Also, I got something else to tell you. I did the research there. So all of these things your neurologist need to tell you about. For me, my neurologist, nobody at Johns Hopkins would allow me to go back on to Sabri. They said, nah, your days of Sabri are over. Let's see, what are your risks of developing PML if you're on Sabri? All right, you got to have the JCV virus. Your risk increases. Take an immunosuppressant. These are drugs active in your body's immune system. Also, there's factors. Your risk includes, let's see, the longer you've been on Sabri, especially for 2 years, the more you stack the odds that you can get that. Your risk increases the higher the titer level of antibodies in your blood. I will let you know that there's a risk thing that you can risk. It was the MS Society in Canada. It was there, or no, and United Kingdom. The MS Society has a website that will assess your risk of PML, and you put that in. The amount of years I had been on it. Let's see, the fact that I had been on Nivantrone. I had so many. My chances were 1 out of 164. 164. So doctors would not give it to me. PML is an aggressive, possibly fatal disease. But remember, they can, if they suspect, if you go to your neurologist and you're like, you know what, I'm feeling fast, they can do an apheresis to clear out your blood. Just take all the immunosuppressants out of your blood and hopefully reverse that. Let's see, it can take months to slowly get, it can take months to manifest itself like an MS attack. It is the disease of the brain. Let's see, the symptoms. All right, so you get to left. They're similar to MS. All right, clumsiness. Well, they're similar. Yeah, clumsiness. Okay, weakness. It gets worse. Changes in personality. Trouble speaking. Vision problem. Dementia, blindness, paralysis, seizures. All right. Most providers are not willing to take any chances. If you have been on it a while, it's safe. It shows that it's safe. Let's see. The benefits of Tysabri is it lowers relapse rates by 81% and disability progression by 64%. And that's a good thing. But the thing is that there is a direct correlation between the longer you've been on it, the different types of medication. So you've got to bring everything I'm talking about, everything that you've learned here, you've got to bring it to your neurologist. You've got to assess that. I know that Maya, we're supposed to get a new member who is joining us. I've been emailing back and forth and through YouTube and just you guys know I only answer all emails, but or messages, So she's supposed to be joining us, and I did a video a while ago that said, let me see. This code is a lot cuter than it's showing. Anyway, I did this video, or I did this video on going on to Sabri, even if you have PML. My risk was 1 in 1. They said 1 in 100. It's 1 in 150. So I said to my doctor, my neurologist, I said, that's 99% chance that I won't get it. And I want to be on it because it makes me feel better. So they said, that's too bad. They would not, no doctor that I talked to would put their name on an order for December. They're like, no, Dulci, you don't get that because we're not going to be responsible for giving it to you. And that's true. That's true. All right. It's not what you wear, how you wear. Thank you, Gina. But anyway, we can open up the questions and answers now. Does it mean very low increases during the first year of taking Sabri? Your risk is low, but increases after 2 years. Being treated with immunosuppressant in the past puts you at high risk. If you've been on methotrexate, if you've been on Nivantrone, there's different immunosuppressant drugs that your doctor can tell you about that put you at higher risk. So we can open it up now. So are there any questions? Again, I'm not the doctor, and it's your show. I just presented the research. All right. So what I'm understanding with what I've read is that JCB virus, we pick it up in the soil, and it lives in our urine, and it's highly contagious, and we tend to get it. We get it, right? Everybody gets it. Well, not everybody, but most people get it. If you're if you're like a 5-second or 5-minute rule and you drop a burger in dirt, and you eat it, which I drop everything. So if I have a cookie and I drop it outside of the refrigerator, it hits the floor where I bring the dogs in, they walk through the kitchen. So, and I mop on Wednesdays. I mop. So it's infected germs and stuff, and I pick it up and I eat it. Well, maybe that would infect me with JCV. If everybody has this, then, or most people, then all right. And let's see. Ruth says that she had been on Sabri for 11 years, and she always gets tested for the JCV virus. The levels you have, right? The levels you have, you get tested before they give you the infusion. Now I can say hi, Ruth, hi, Patricia, Sarah, Dennis, Brandon, Gina. I mean, this is a really good episode. So thank you for sharing. Yeah, so you can stay on to Sabri if you have in fact, any of this, if you're, you know what, And I think that is it. What Ruth is saying is that they're able to, in fact, what I read you is they're able to tell you your Richter levels, right? Your Richter, how, it's like Lyme's, how much of this virus is in your body. It's really good to know because the higher levels, the more you're predisposed to activate that JCV virus. JCV is the dormant virus that turns into PML when it's activated, when everything is lined up. Everything's got to be lined up. Okay. So, and I had been on Tisabri for 8 years. And they started, in fact, I was in the Tisabri study program where I was taking it with Avonex. In fact, the only medications that are not linked with PML is the interferons, beta seron, Avonex, and Rebif. Those, in fact, I think Copaxone also, because it's the way I remember it worked. So never be offered to Sabri. Oh, Gina's never been offered to Sabri. Yeah, it's true. Yes, rituximab has been associated with PML. Ocrevus has been. Lemtrada. These are things that I talked about earlier. The medications are monoclonal antibodies to Sabri, rituximab, Lemtrada, Tectefera, Gilenya. Let's see, I already said Ocrevus, cyclophosphamide, corticosteroid, let's see, Mofetil, just Consempia, just so many of the. And Gina, in a way, I think Canada socialized medicine in a way they don't want you to use the more expensive ones, and they're better medications and cheaper. Rituximab is what I take, and they have a generic formula, and I really like it because there's no side effect on that, and for me, no side effects. But I'm interested in what my JCV levels are because I know I've been tested and I get periodically tested, but you know what? Ruth, you help. I do. I take rituximab, but generic. I take generic rituximab, and yes, but it's Tisabri that has been really focused on. There is a lower incidence of PML in Ocrevus and so if it's a danger for PML, well, I get it because it's statistics. Everything is statistics when it comes. Ruth asks, so if it is a danger for PML, why get off Tisabri? If your chances of getting PML are the same as being on Tisabri, on the disease-modifying medication, Ocrevus or rituximab, why get off something that I felt so much better? Great question. And the answer is the degrees of danger. There has been a direct correlation that it's much more dangerous to have a lower level of antibodies, lower levels of JCV antibodies, when it's actually, it's all right. What am I trying to say? All right, different medications have a threshold that is different. Jcb and JCV virus, there's a direct correlation, whereas rituximab and Ocrevus, it's lower. It's only, in fact, in 2017, one person out of everybody on Ocrevus, one person got it. So it's really, really small. So Ocrevus, and your neurologist can tell you. And I could have done better research to answer that, but it's a wonderful question. Why get off Jcb? Because that may not be your choice to choose. You go to your neurologist and you say, I don't want to be on beta seron. I want something that's stronger, that'll keep me at bay, right? So they said, what do you want? And he said, well, I've done research. I went to msfrontiers.com and I did the research, and I see the best medications are, Ocrevus, rituximab, and Jcb. So I want those three. And the doctor does your JCV levels, finds out, and says, you know what? I'm not comfortable with you taking this chemotherapy. The Jcb. I'm not. Your life is you being alive is more important to me than you than you feeling better. Just a small amount of better, 10% better. No. All right, but Ocrevus, we can talk about that. We can talk about so you can tell your doctor all you want, the type of medication you want, and your doctor may say, no, I'm not willing to give it to you. Right, Gina? Right? Risk management. And every medication that we decide to take to interrupt the disease activity in MS, everything has a risk, right? If we take enough steroids over the years, it can affect diabetes, your bones, osteoporosis. Sarah, that's really interesting, because Sarah's sharing with us that she has had 107 infusions and gone off Jcb twice because of high titer, but progressed rapidly. So when she went back on, and she had to sign a release of liability. To her, it's about quality of life. I understand. Boy, I'll tell you what, Sarah, I understand about quality of life, because when we feel bad, we want to that 10% quality of life increase is worth risking our lives. You know, we cut the string, especially if we're diehard Christians. And I've been talking to somebody. One of my friends is terminal. She's got a really bad disease. She's got ALS. And I said, you know, the good thing about being terminal, because everybody's terminal, but the good thing about finally outliving the usefulness of your body, the good thing is that then you can die of all things that the world thinks is important. all things. It's like all things, and now you can just appreciate the beauty in the world. It's just, you can be at peace. You can. How important is anything? Let's see. But that's really interesting. Sarah signed a waiver of liability, and I don't know if that's legal. I don't think. You know what? I when I taught business law in high school and junior college, there was, and this is back in the 90s, there was absolutely there was no way you can sign away. You can't sign away liability. You can't. And that was, think about it, when you went skiing. When I went skiing, you had to sign your lift ticket, and it was not to hold them responsible for liability in case you did something stupid or but guess what? When researching that, if they can't do that, if you get off the ski lift and it's not set up right for you, and it's not set up, and you get it off and you fall and you have a compound fracture because somebody left a pole in the way when you got off they can't, liability it's signing liability away. It's supposed to be a deterrent for you to sue, but it's not legal. So they had you sign. All right, let's see. Son of Belize. Let's see. Okay. All right, Ruth is the lower the better. Don't understand the difference concerning meds if the Jcb virus is low. Well, again, that is a wonderful question for neurologists. And again, if it's low, it may not be a factor. But we have to be able to know what our risk factors are. We have to know what the risk factors are. And to be honest with you, I will let you know that I had an appointment with people to get on this low dose LDN, which we did the video, LDN. So I had this, she is just so bullish about, I'll be getting this LDN in 1 week. They said 1 week, it's been approved, paid for, and every month I'll be getting it. So my general practitioner didn't know anything about it. I sent him the ldn.org. I talked to the nurse practitioner, and I'm going to keep everybody in the loop. You guys, I'm going to keep everybody in the loop about this, because it's got to be better than this. And living in other people's world gets me out of my head, because we don't feel good. It comes a while, you have this, and you sit on your couch and you're thinking, I don't want to do walking lunges. I don't want to do physical therapy. I don't want to do Carolyn Gibbons upper body workout. I just want to swim. I want to enjoy. You know what? Why work out when you don't feel good anymore, and you just get more pleasure out of seeing the beauty that God has in this world? I worked out for 25, 30, no, longer. Since I was 16, before that. I've always belonged to the, and I've always worked out. But MS was the great equalizer about me losing weight. How did I get MS? Or I don't know the question. I don't. Okay. Yeah. Okay. LD. Yeah. It's LDN group. Again, you know what? When you're a product of organized education, when I take everything as an opportunity to learn. In fact, I learned so much from all of you. How did you get it? Okay. All right. I understand. I understand the question. Okay. It's ageless. If you go, Summer Lady, if you go to ldn.org, or on the bottom, it was age, something age. It on the bottom. It has the compound pharmacies that you can get it through. So what I did is I called my general practitioner and I said, I want to get this. I want to start this. And he said, no, I'm not familiar with that. So, but he's willing to learn, and he's willing to work with me because he knows I'm stubborn, and I've got books on neurology up against my just so belonging to a group, LDN for questions and stuff. I end up having tons of questions that I need immediate answers. So I've got to be able to find it, and just getting it answered from another person is not good for me. I have to read it. I have to read it. I have to consider the source. So if I ask somebody, hi Daniel. Anyway, see, I lost my train of thought. I lost it. ldn.org. The compound pharmacies are on the bottom. $30 a month is, and get this, it says that for people with MS, we shouldn't go on anything higher than 3. Anyway, 3 milligram or point. It's 3. Yeah, 3 milligram. Yeah, you know what, Sarah? Tell me something. Has there always been heat waves and violent storms and electricity cut off? I don't know. You're talking about that. But you know what? It's ask yourself the question: is this still your favorite planet? You know what? People who are talking about the weather, complaining about the weather. What a blessing! What a blessing it is to complain about the weather, because that means that you don't have turmoil in your body. You know what? I'll tell you, I went to the gym yesterday, swam, got out, let's see, I was taking a shower in the locker room, and I heard just havoc struck. Lightning and thunder. Dogs went through the screen room again. So I've got to fix that. And it's like, what? Jane! I just realized it's you. It's you, Jane. I love you. I was worried about you. That's right. And Patricia is saying best. You know what? Definitely. It's the best planet to live on. And Ruth says that she takes 3.5 milligrams of low dose LDN nightly. And you know what? It's gotta work. It's gotta work because it's so you talk about these wild thunderstorms, these wild and the red cells and they're I came out of the gym and over the gym it was like a tornado, the black low cloud, and it started swinging. And meanwhile I'm loading up my my scooter. I'm loading it up, and I'm watching, and the wind is blowing. All of a sudden, it starts raining, and I get in my car, and the and it's like being underwater. So I just sit there. So it was bad. It was bad. But then again, it's my favorite planet. And you know what? While I'm in a fish tank and I'm watching the water go over my car, and I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't throw some soap on my car. You know, I think it's supposed to, I'm going to do them. I'm going to do that. But anyway, it just, it's still, when I'm sitting there and I'm watching the water, I'm not thinking that I'm in pain. I'm not thinking of the peripheral neuropathy. Oh my God, Jane, you're out. Naloxone. Thank you. Low dose naloxone. Thank you. Thank you, friend. All right, I got to write that down so I can say it easier. Yeah, you know what? Complain. Why do we complain? And I go to the pool and I say, God, don't let me complain. Let me ask. Let me be an instrument of thy peace. Where there's pain, let me sow comfort. Where there, you know, I've discovered I am doing more praying at the pool. It's like some people come to you and they start to, how you doing, Dulci? It was like, no. How are you? It's like, I don't come to the pool to talk about me. I need to hear from you. Let me get out of my brain. Let me be an instrument of thy peace. God, control my tongue. I control it. Because when I am patient, when I practice on listening and reading and in learning something from everyone who's speaking, taking something and repeating it back to them, it's amazing. All right, I'm looking here. Brandon is reminding us you need a prescription for low dose naloxone. You need a prescription. If you go to ldn.org and you scroll down to the bottom, there's the recommended quality. Checked out pharmacies, compound pharmacies that have a doctor that you order it, and then they Naltrex, yeah, naltrexone. I know it detailed, right? I'm not detailed, and I need to be, but you go on that website and you click this pharmacy, this compound pharmacy. There is a question page. You answer the question page. You pay. You register your credit card, $30 a month, and then you schedule your appointment. It's a video appointment with a nurse practitioner or their doctor on staff who talks to you and checks you out, and then they write the prescription for you, and you're in the loop. Meanwhile, what I suggest to everyone is that I have a duty. I have a duty that once I got approved for this medication, what I'm going to do is let my general practitioner, I've been keeping him in the loop. I'm going to tell my neurologist, that kind of stuff. We have a duty. So you definitely need a prescription, and all this stuff was ldn.org. Let's see. All right. And Ruth said that the group has videos filed with. All right. On Facebook, Ruth is telling us that there is an LDN group, so you can request to join. Thank you for sharing that, Ruth. One of the things that I have to be careful of is confirmation bias. I have to entertain the possibility I can't possibly learn something from a video or from, I can qualify who did the video afterwards, but again, am I sure? Are you sure? That's what Christians are supposed to ask. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure you know what you're talking about? Are you sure? No, I'm not sure. So thank you for that, and I will. I'll check it out on Facebook. I'll check it out. Let's see. Also, maybe this. I don't know. I'm not going to say it. But this is good. Are there any questions about JCB virus, PML, infection? One is the virus. JCV is the virus that once activated, it's kind of like being HIV positive. You're positive. Well, JCV virus is like having HIV. All right. Full-blown AIDS and PML is the disease. That's the disease. All right. So PML, you get that. So all right, the disease versus the active disease versus the infection, and also LDN. Are there any questions? I do. I do. You know what? It's on the playlist on YouTube. There's lots and lots of videos from 2008, I believe. The oldest ones. Yeah, I think 2007 or 2008. Okay. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I've done videos, and you'll see, Ruth, if you go and you look at the videos on YouTube, you will see anybody. If anybody goes and looks at the videos on the playlist on this YouTube channel, you will see the progression, right? The progression that I actually think I knew something, I could teach you something, to being one of you, being one of me, we're all the same. This, you know what? It sucks. It sucks. I can't teach you anything. I can teach you attitude, because people often say, "Oh my gosh, you're a beacon of light." So I do hear that a lot. Uh, I know that people without MS need me, perhaps, I think, more than having this show or doing this. This here is so important for me to contribute into, to making it easier for us living with this disease. But I'll tell you what, when I go to the gym, when I go to the pool, when I work out, oh my gosh, the suffering. Oh my goodness, the suffering going on, and the people that see me as a beacon of comfort, and they come and they share with me situations about abuse and about just terrible things, about somebody being in a head-on collision, about illness, about, Brian is still, my husband, still, he's working now all day, and he's got numbness and vertigo, and which gets worse at sometimes. I wonder if it has something to do with hydrating oneself. So what I'm saying is that there's more to each of us. I'm not. Thank you, Jane. There's more to each of us than just having MS, and it's so important you develop outside of yourself. MS is only allowed to have us emotionally 10%. 10% are we allowed to think about it. You got to create boundaries. You have to do that. 10%, right? And then coping, because walking around, balancing, strength, tripping over your foot, vertigo, that kind of stuff is so exhausting. It's just so exhausting. So, and you don't know it. We don't know it. So we're walking around and we're trying, and we're emotionally taxed. We're talking to people, we're praying for people, and then we come home, and all of a sudden we can't even watch television. Maybe this LDN is going to, yeah, that's right. You're right. Oh my goodness. That is so beautiful. Ruth is saying, I have to go on join the group LDN site, and she reminds me, nothing ventured is nothing gained. That is awesome. Ruth. Awesome. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Right? So I have to, I'm committed. I've done this. I have allowed just the wealth of information you guys have brought to me to change the way I treat my MS. Right? I stopped taking narcotics. I stopped doing that. I have medical marijuana that really, really works in the evening. Because why? The indica, it matches my brain. I'll tell you, at the end of the day, I'm so tired. I come back, I sit on the couch and it's an MS, a body fatigue, a brain fatigue that I can't live with, right? The Earth OG is a strain that has sour diesel, and it has sort of kush, something that. But what's so beautiful about that? What is beautiful about that is that it doesn't make it relaxes you, but you're not fatigued anymore. I don't know how to explain that, but it's because of you guys leaning on me. And I let my general practitioner know. I said, you know what? And these MS meerkats, what did they got me smoking pot. I'm a pothead now. No, that's not true. But in the evening, I do that. And when I'm so tired, and guess what? I'm able to be relaxed. It relaxes my brain and aligns it with my body. And that's a good thing. It's instead of taking something to speed my body up, to align my body with my brain, it makes sense. It's great. It's great. Let's see. God bless you, Ruth. I like that. I like it. And I need you guys to keep at me, right? To keep at me, because only when you bring things to me, like it's like Brendan said, I told you, and so many people over the years. Brandy, I know you've been tolding me. I know Daniel, you've been telling me. I know you all been telling me, and I've been so set in my what I believe is right. I talk to a lot of people with addictions, so I'm reluctant to share that I need this to slow down. And Jane is saying God made it, gives us all we need, and that's true. But you know what, Jane, what's awesome is that God works through us, each of us. And I am, by the way, I'm considering doing MS Live once a week, and making it a little longer, like an hour and a half once a week. Therefore, because I'm not doing as great as, no, Jane's not on Facebook, Dee Dee. But I gotta, maybe the LDN will help make this format possible for me. All right. Ruth is saying her husband tells her the reason MS exhausts us is because our nerves to our muscles are constantly being fired on. Absolutely. But you know what? When I was reading the causes of vertigo and dizziness, and what makes it worse, and so much, so are these outside emotional stress, physical stress, numbness, all these things make us tired because we're constantly, when we walk, we're constantly thinking, not consciously, but our bodies are constantly thinking, how can we succeed? How can we do something without dropping it? We have to do that. Anyway, all right. Yeah, thank you, because it's just getting hard. It's getting hard. I love all of you here. Anyway, I'm looking at that. All right, let's pray us out. I think that thank you for sharing that, Ruth. Thank you. 7 stars. Thank you. And you know what? It's true. Heat makes us more tired. But I'll tell you what, when I get really, really cold because of the air conditioning and the air conditioning's on here. It's supposed to be 80 degrees today, and I'm wearing a denim jacket in the house because I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, let me pray us out. God bless all of you. Thank you for being here. Let's see. We are going to. What was it? What were we going to? All right. The topic for next Thursday. All right, I have it. I'm doing the lesson plan for Thursday, and I can't remember what I was talking about because I've given it all here. God bless you. Go to YouTube. Please subscribe. Also, I'm about to do a raffle campaign, and let's see. I'm about to do. Oh, wait. All right. Okay. All right, dear Heavenly Father, thank you for everybody who's been here and participated today. Thank you, Lord. Allow us to be of your world and to rise above how we feel, Lord. Allow us to be instruments of thy peace, seeking to comfort instead of being comfort, seeking to understand instead of being understood. Lord, help us to be okay in our own skin, and help those people who feel that they're being abused. Help by caregivers. Help us to have boundaries to keep us from being victims for doctors, victims doing things that we don't want to do. And allow us all to serve each other. In Jesus' name I give thanks. Amen. Thank you. And I'll see ya on Thursday, right? Bye.